somebody.
Stop being a fucking pussy. Let's do it.
Someone needs to say it is the greatest podcast ever.
Someone I proudly call my friend and fellow podcaster. He goes by the hardcore metal name of Soft.
Soft is a weird thing to call somebody.
Oh, he's got all the awards locked up. Rookie of the Year, locked up. MVP, locked up. Prettiest hog at the Mecklenburg County Fair, locked up.
Soft is a weird thing to call somebody.
I got to see Soft Weekly there.
There were some people on the show that
Because
didn't
I am
want it.
hard, I got a sports son who's tearing up the Australian league. Looking go.
I am hard, but I am fair.
Hey, everybody, listen
There
up.
is no
It's the
racial
Professional
bigotry
Podcast.
here. I do not look down on niggers.
Was Eric Zane there?
One, two,
I
three.
did run into Eric Zane.
Here you are all equally.
Congratulations, Corey.
Soft is a weird thing to call somebody.
Hello, everyone. Holy shit, I don't know if any of that worked at all. Wow. I'm sorry. I'll try and explain a few things really quickly. The music was what I was calling the Shuley test, because he had said on his show, or he had said that the reason they were banned for 7 days was because they played a bunch of music before the show. Now, John plays music. I play music. A lot of people play music before the show. And I've never seen that happen before. And I guess he said we played like 5. Well, I saw John get banned because he tried to sneak in videos, which I told him was a bad idea, but whatever. So Shuley said he played 5 songs. And so then he got the ban for 7 days. I told John and a couple other people that I was going to do a Shuley test. So I played 7 songs to see what happens. So we'll see how that goes. As far as the echoing beforehand, I don't know what the fuck that was. I talked to John. I made a test video like an hour before this show, and I sent it to John. He watched it, and it all sounded good. I didn't change any settings, and then when I went live, I had the echo. It was very funny. It was upsetting when it happened, but now I can laugh and just whatever, it happened. You can't do anything about it. I'm not going to cry anymore, you know? And I will leave that up because it's a part of my warts and all idea here that, shit happens, and I clown on people all the time, and I'm not going to, when shit goes bad for me, if I take it down and run and hide like a bitch, that's not really cool or not something I would want to be known for doing. So, everything got switched around a little how I was going to do it. I didn't know Jamingo would be here, and I'm so happy he is, because we are going to talk about Jamingo and my old pal Eric Zane. There's been a whole bunch of shit going on with these guys. So it could be quite interesting, but I wanted to start off with some Gino Bisconti when he was on Little Mirror and Chow. I'm not sure how I feel about the Little Mirror and Chow show, but you can see what they're doing, and Little Mirror can barely contain himself when Gino's saying all this dumb shit. So let's watch it for a few minutes, and Gino thinks he's so fucking cool. What a retard. All right, let's check it out. I know this isn't the smoothest setup yet, but everyone's going to have to give me a break for a minute.
You wait. Sorry. Now we're live.
All right, we are live. Holy shit, we are finally here.
You're fucking
Holy
with me.
fuck, we're finally here with the amazing, the elusive, one of the most brilliant comedic minds of the past 10 years. Gino Bisconti.
I think Little Mirror's playing it up a little too much here.
The Mudverse. Yeah. Never tells a lie. The universe provides.
Yeah.
It is him, Gino. Welcome.
It is I. It's funny you say that, because I just and I said this. I want to thank.
It's funny how the way these guys troll people. I don't really like the characters bit too much, but it is funny how they troll people. And Gino's like totally clueless about this.
And I've never hit anyone in my life. I wanted to reach through the screen and choke him, because he's just. It's not even that it's Keanu and he's being mean to a girl. Keanu's the only one calling him out, and I was like, that's not what I fucking did. He's just the worst liar in the world. And it's so easy to just tell the truth. It's so easy in this business.
Gino, the big, he's a truthaholic. right? Gino.
All of his happenings. He's been going, a little like big energy all of a sudden on some of his podcasts. And he's talking a bunch of nonsense. So everyone's watching him. Everyone's talking about him. But you had an OG beef with him, and it was something personal. So we heard some of what
Chow
you're
says
talking with
OG
those
more
guys,
than
and
me.
we can keep going on Ray a little bit, but
No, whatever you guys want to do. I'm a broken record with Ray. And
well, we
it's-
know the past of transgressions with Ray and you because we're fans, but we also know you're a player in the Mudverse. We're the Gutterverse. We're at the bottom level with like all these shows like BYB and Ski Mask is like top level Gutterverse, slash Mudverse. And
Ski Mask is top level of what? He may be top level to Chow and Lil Mir, but what?
Yeah, so you're in the Mudverse, even though you just got into the streaming game because you have enemies with Brennan, you have enemies with Dixon, and enemies with Ray, who are all kind of like players in the game.
They're all fucking liars.
Are you and Bob still enemies? You guys straight now?
No, me and Bob are fine. Although I did get drunk and send Bob a shit ton of texts the other night.
Yeah, he brought that up.
But only because, and we laughed about it, only because it's him in 3 boxes with fucking Brennan, Pat Dixon, and Levy, and I don't want to talk to the other 2. So I'm yelling at Levy, and he doesn't even answer because he's used to
Listen to Gino. He thinks everything he does is so important all the time.
But I mean, what else am I going to say? I'm hammered.
Honestly,
so
I like that Gino is drinking again, though. That means we're closer to seeing him crash again.
Wars of 2023.
Look, I don't do the podcast war intentionally, but I'm deaf. And at the risk of sounding like a politician, all my fans are my alliances with all my fans. Like I've said this before, I'll say it again. Like, of course, I'm streaming because it's a nice little outlet, like away from. But I'm not kidding when I say I'm so lucky to be doing a show in a studio. Because in a studio, you get to talk to people. They drop by. Like today,
listen to this.
Fucking
Listen.
Mare was doing some taping. She came by. I'm like, sit in on the show. My buddy Fred Rubino's there. We go across the street. We meet up with and the fans we know that'll come meet us at the bar. That's my alliance. People that believe in genuinely making people laugh.
All right. So that what he just said is the beauty of. Sorry. What he just said is the beauty of working in a studio is you get to see Chrissy Mayer, gross, and then you get to go across the street to the bar and talk to the fans. Is that the beauty of having a studio and or doing your show in a studio? Let's just be clear. Gino doesn't have a studio. Gino has a TV tray with a MacBook on top of it, and then a little desktop mic stand sitting on top of his MacBook right next to the trackpad because he doesn't even have a desk. Gino doesn't have a studio. Gino gets to use somebody else's studio every now and then. Fucking idiot.
And there's a specificity to that because I've had it with comics now that say this. Okay, it's just about being funny. Let me tell you something. Okay, let me help you jump ahead in the gutter.
Oh, he's gonna help us.
Anyone that says I just want to be funny, they're not good at what they do. Okay, because it's not enough. If you want to just be funny, you could get on stage and tell jokes. You could get on stage and tell knock jokes. You know what I mean?
Wait, so Gino isn't funny. Does he not want to be funny? So then he's being honest or whatever. Some people do just want to be funny. Some people do just want to do a show. What's Gino want to do?
Like
Ray says that all the time.
Yeah, Ray steals jokes from fucking fiber optics conventions. But if you if you really want to evolve as a comedian, you have to have a reason to want to make people laugh. You have to have a point to what you're saying.
Oh, Gino's always higher level.
Like say what you want about Bill Burr, and he's gotten kind of woke, but at least he has a point. He has an agenda. You look at the greats like Carlin. You look at the greats like Pryor. And
do you think Gino talks to Bill Burr enough to know about Bill Burr's agenda? Fuck. I mean, Gino's maybe met Bill Burr once or twice, at a club somewhere here, a comedy club somewhere here or there. And now he's pretending to know Bill Burr's agenda. I bet you if you asked Bill Burr, he would tell you he don't have a fucking agenda. What the fuck are you talking about, Gino? God, you suck.
I'm not putting myself on their level because I'm not, but at least I'm trying. You know, I have something to say. It's like, it's just about, it's not just.
Oh, there's the cope. He mentions Bill Burr like like they're on the same level. Then he goes, "Oh, we're not on the same level, but at least I'm trying. At least I'm trying." Fuck you. Oh my God, I hate this fucking guy, and I hate his fucking stupid girlfriend more.
Yeah, we think stand-up's kind of gay overall, so we're more into this game, you know.
What?
But I mean,
why do you
I do
think
respect it.
Gay? Because I guarantee I'll agree with you on 90% of the reasons you think it is. I guarantee.
Stand up is gay because you do it, Gino. We all saw the picture of you at Romano's supper club and Chuckle Hut. You know what I mean? Performing dinner theater comedy to 4 people. That's why, Gino. That's why. Comedy, stand-up comedy is gay because people like you go to dinner theater places and say you did a comedy show. That's why comedy is gay, Gino.
I don't know. I don't really like going out to the clubs anymore. I'm too busy.
Sure.
And then
He's too busy
online
doing
kinda
this,
sucks.
Chow. Too busy.
Yeah, you can't watch it online. I never watched this.
The last comedy show I saw was Lewis Black, and that was amazing. But other than that, it just kind of just blew. Like your local shit just sucks.
Lewis
out
Black.
Here. I don't know. It just
Holy shit.
If you live, where are you guys at? Can I ask
I'm
you
St.
that?
Louis. I'm St. Louis.
I'm down
Oh,
in
I didn't-
Florida.
Nice. Well, I mean, if you can go to a comedy club, they're always, there's nothing that can match a live comedy show. Okay, don't get me wrong. There's bad comics and there's good comics.
Nothing that can match a live comedy show. I saw Dave Chappelle live. I saw Burr live. I saw a lot of comedians live, and those shows were all very good. But I don't know if like any stand-up show has ever been the pinnacle of my entertainment life. It would really be more if I was going to a live event. It would definitely be, I would be more interested in seeing bands. I was pretty hyped up when I got the Chappelle tickets. The only time he's ever played Flint, Michigan, and I got him there, and that was pretty cool. I was very hyped about it. I waited in line for it. It was a big deal. It was a great live show, but it's not even in the top 10, probably not even the top 20 of live shows I've seen when you start talking about music.
Comics, but nothing can hang with a live comedy show. You know what I mean? Like people that are going out. I talk about my act. Like you have 2 choices in every moment: joy and fear. Okay. And I know you're not into comedy, but you enjoy doing this. You choose joy when you're doing it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the past 2 or 3 years can't convince me. Like I say to the comedy, you have 2 choices. You can choose joy. And when you're at a comedy.
All right. So now Chow is agreeing with this choose joy, crystal hugging, tree hugging, fucking, patchouli wearing bullshit Gino's putting out there. And it's very funny. Right after this, Chow and Ari Jane started the do good, feel good, be good, whatever it is. It's their good podcast where they just go, hey, what's good? And you go, oh, I like good things. Hey, good things. We might talk about that. But Chow is feeding into this all like positive energy karma BS Gino's putting out there. That's the one thing. They kind of goof on him a little bit here, so I enjoy it, but it's gay. I'm sorry. It's gay.
Club. I say to the crowd, I'm like, you chose joy, whether you realize it or not. You came out to laugh in a room full of strangers. And this is me defending comedy, which I'll agree a lot of it's gay. I'm on your side, Chow. But, you get out and you laugh in a room full of strangers, and it's a fact that laughter heals you. Or you could choose fear. And this applies to everything we're seeing going on now, including comedy, because I'm afraid to laugh. The worst thing people can do it. And so many people are trying to scare you out of it, right? I'm afraid to laugh because someone might think I'm a racist. And no one's 99% of the world, I would argue, is not racist. I would argue because
Gino,
1%,
wait, all right.
Like I say,
I'm almost done with this because Gino is so full of crap. But you'll notice when he runs out of shit to say, he always goes back to the vaccines. So incoming on vaccines.
Yeah, well, we're 3 white guys. We should be fucking at a Klan rally. And if there's a black guy here, he should be looting a McDonald's. But that's not the majority. That's the majority of fucking social media and an infinitesimal part of the country we live in. But that has Gino, I mean, I don't think Gino's really in touch with everyone enough to
judge overall racism in the U.S. or the world, because I think there is a lot of it. I'm not saying everyone's racist, but Gino acts like it's 1%. I'm sure it's much higher than that, and that would be like Chinese people hating white people or black people, and black people not liking what, you know what I mean? It's not just all white people being racist, but there's a lot of fucking racism in the world, dude. Far Eastern countries, Asian countries, man, those guys are really insular, like Japanese versus Koreans versus China, you know what I mean? There's a lot of that shit going on. Racism is real, Gino. It's not 1% of the world. Don't be a fucking moron.
That's what they're showing us, and that's what they're convincing us, and that's
Yeah,
why
we
people
know,
are
we
afraid to
know.
fucking laugh.
But we're like into this live stuff. We're like we like
I got
this
no problem with
instant
that.
stuff. And like, so for instance, someone who's popped up on Keanu's stream that I've seen around that we're gonna ask a favor of you is to send Kate Meany a link to the show.
Look at
Kate Meany is on our show next week. I'll ask.
Look at them climbing. They're like, Gino, we really had you on here just because we want to talk to Kate Meany. All right, Gino, that's the whole reason you're there, is they want to goof on you and then extract something from you. They want to get a connect. They want to get a mention. That, you know what I mean? A bump. Everyone that has people on their show is hoping there's some cross promotion or whatever. But that's Chow's whole thing. Look, let's get to the heart of the matter. We want to be put in contact with Kate Meany.
Or call in next Monday. She's on my show.
Well, you should text her the link now.
What's that?
Text her the link right now.
I'm not going to text her the link right now. Here's why. I mean, I love you. I like Kate. We're friends, but I'm not at the texting.
This is a moment of honesty and clarity for Gino. Like, he admits that he ain't got that pull with her to go, hey, join this link.
A link for a podcast yet. Like, but I'm telling you, I'm a man of my word. If you fucking remind me fucking Monday, I'll be like, hey, I did my buddy's podcast, Little Mir Musk. They'd love to have you on. I can do that.
I saw she was doing something with some dudes, and they were kind of insufficient dudes, you know. They weren't mega G's or
Stancil. I thought Stancil.
Well, Stancil, yeah, he's all right, but she needs like a mega G.
These guys,
mega G.
These guys will suck any dick in their area to fucking
kind of bum. So
move ahead.
We got Mir Musk here.
Stancil lives in a garage, so I mean,
we want to get her on to pick at her, see what she's got.
Well, I mean, she's a podcast. She's a streamer, a podcast herself. So I don't think she'd say no.
These guys are growing boring.
I
have a little more about Gino I want to show.
Believe me, I'm a big deal. Kidding. But I mean that.
Oh, that wasn't good. Hold on. It's fine. I don't need that link anymore. All right. So that transition did not go as smoothly as I planned. I'm still working this out. I'm really hoping that my video's not skipping and everything sounds and looks at least decent. And I know the production value is not going great right now, but I'll get back to that at some point. I was hoping not to have another fail, and of course I did right at the start of the show. So we're just seeing now if it'll all work right. All right, so here's what else I wanted to show you about Gino and Kiki. They act like kids in high school. You know, I mean, we've been dating for 10 months and we're so in love, and it's our 10-month anniversary. And Gino's older than me, dude. Grow up. That's fucking gross, you know? And so, oh, hold on. Whoa. Oh, I didn't even know it was still up. I'll get it. All right, cool. Okay. Uh-oh, I got scolded from my teacher. Evidently, I have a Jamingo comment still on the board that I got to get rid of. I don't know how I get rid of it. There you go. All right. Jamingo still ruining my shit. All right, so here we go. So the thing was here is they went to see Mickey in South Carolina. And they really seem like I was saying how they're like two teenagers in love and all that shit, you know what I mean? Oh, we're going to be together forever. You're 100 and I'm 16. It's going to be great. And look at them. It's like the first adult trip they took, you know. They're taking an hour and a half flight from New York to South Carolina. And there's Gino at the Sky Club. And let's see a little farther down. Oh, no, we got to go up. Yep. There's Gino at the Sky Club when they're taking off. And now, look, they're on the plane. Look at him snuggling. He's going to melt. Wee! Oh, that's so cute. And now here they are with Mickey. Look, oh, they're having fun at a local coffee shop. That's adorable. And now look at this one. Look. Oh, they're so cute. Oh, isn't that nice? And then they made it into a GIF. Some people say GIF. I don't want to fight about that, but they made it into a GIF. Let's see if we can find it here. Oh, there's Sky Club Bisconti. Let me see. And there's a weird picture of Mickey I wanted to show you guys too. All right, hold on. It got switched off, Keanu's. Let me find it. All right, because there's a very weird picture of Mickey. Oh, this is one. I think this is from Keanu's. I'm imagining this is from her OnlyFans, and she decided to post it on Twitter. I don't know. Maybe it's not from her OnlyFans, but that's from her Barbie night. Oh, here's the one. Look. Oh, look how cute they are. And she even knows it. We're repulsive. We know. Yeah, it's not. It's humiliating. You know what I mean? It's gross to me. Yes, it is repulsive. But I mean, it's humiliating for yourself. You're acting like children. All right, now here's the one I want to see. Now everyone knows that John and I are a big fan of Mickey's, but whatever she's doing right here with this makeup job, dude, Mickey looks better on TV or on YouTube, right? Don't doll yourself up, Mickey. For whatever reason, dolling yourself up brings you down. Please don't do that. I'm sorry, but not good. And also, she's got a weird toe thing going on here. Look. Look, see, there's the big toe, and there's another toe, and there's another toe, and then there's this errant toe right here, like taking down the other toes. Also, why are both her big toes white and all the rest of them are tanned? What the fuck's going on there? I mean, that toe is tanned, unless that's like a sixth toe that doesn't fit in her shoe normally, so it gets more sun than the others. But you can see these ones over there are tan too. I don't know. I'm a big fan of Mickey, but all this dolling up, it did not work well for her. It looks like it made her look like an older lady who's trying to look younger. Mickey, go back to your natural style, please. I'm just saying. All right, that's all I got for these guys. Let me see. Trying to go through this. Jamingo is here. This is what I want to. Well, it wasn't necessarily important, but since he's here, let me see. So, John and I, we talked about when Boomer Bunker did their show and Bob dressed up as John and had the In the Paint background and everything. Well, then we watched the following week. I didn't see till the end of that show, neither John or I did, but the following week we watched again, and then I saw him going after Eric Zane, who I know. And so I texted him while John and I were talking, and there was a little bit to it. Eric Zane will explain it all for the most part, and I'll help fill in the gaps. But so anyway, that show where Bob was acting, was imitating John, Eric Zane was watching because it was kind of he had kind of set him up to talk about him. They talked about him after John and I had quit watching it because we were laughing too hard about the In the Paint stuff. So this might be a good setup, but at first I want to play some of the Boomer Bunker stuff because it's pretty interesting. All right, we'll go to 14 minutes, I think.
The vent drain in the floor, and then it was also in the ladies' room, and the smell in both of them were horrific. And as it
kind
got,
of smell you can taste.
yeah, you couldn't. It's like, do I breathe through my nose and kind of throw up, or do I breathe through my mouth?
So here's the thing. There was a mass exodus of fans from the Eric Zane show, and these three were part of it. And now they hold. They had one event before, and I think this is the second. Would be the first annual. There was the inaugural, and then the first annual, or second annual, whatever, the second one. But they have it in a little park. And last year they had it in a pavilion, and they were far away from the restrooms. So this year they got the pavilion that's closer, so everyone didn't have to walk as far. And
You're getting particles. So there's no.
Oh, dude.
So of course
we miss?
The guys
here we
were
go.
hysterical, and
all right,
what that meant.
So we'll go back.
We found out later what that meant.
So, all right, check it out.
Here they go. They're going into the men's room to find out.
Yes, there were some smells coming out.
Oh my god, dude!
Look, this is their big. This is their big hate Zane event.
Oh.
Look, there you go. Oh,
what?
So they got one men's room, one women's room, and that's what's going on. Now look, this is the outside.
So yeah, this is outside.
And when you flush toilets, it's all coming up through that manhole cover. Look,
my favorite.
that's shit water, right up next to their party.
From under that manhole cover.
The bottle filler.
Yeah. So that was kind of gross. So as the day went on and it got warmer, the smell, like you didn't really smell it early on, but it's a public restroom. So anybody at the park was using it. And then, of course, we're using it, occasionally. And then the smells, when the wind blows, you're like, what's that smell? And then you realize it's coming from the restroom, and then realize now it's overflow. Like towards the end of the day,
She's a smart one.
Had left, and we realized that, oh my God, this is overflowing. So we first noticed the water fluid coming out of
so
the manhole.
Now,
then
I just thought that was funny that they had shit water all over their party. I want to be clear on this. I'm not carrying Eric Zane's water, but Eric Zane is a friend of mine. He's a buddy, and we'll get to hear the story. But sorry, I'm looking at my notes. Oh, this will be interesting for Bex in a second here. Let's see. All right. So let's go to 16 minutes. All right.
And then last week we talked about how Eric had lost his fucking mind, or I don't know what's going on with him. Right. But he started one by one attacking his best fans. So
yes, he did.
Now
read best fans as Jamingo saying the fans I enjoyed. That's what he means by best fans.
You guys are here, and I couldn't be happier because a nicer bunch of people and
right. That's the other thing is all those fans that left Eric Zane show brought Jamingo all 36 of his followers on this show or whatever it is.
Biggest fans, and I'm fans of you. I mean, there's stuff that you guys do, and Kate's here with us now on the show. So
he's sucking their dicks.
Eric could not resist of trying to take another shot. So
this can't let it go. Yeah.
This was on his show today.
All right, now check this out.
This up because his audio was shit, but let's try it here. And again, it's probably my fault too.
Somebody suggested to me, EZ, who is blocked from the show right now? I talked to you about I am open.
Oh wait, this is actually fucking awesome by Eric, and they think it's stupid, but Eric has an enemies list, and he's like, they can come back and be a fan of the show if they bend knee and apologize. They're laughing at him, but I think this is actually pretty funny.
To the Zaniacs bending the knee, the former Zaniacs, I would do that because the word on the street is that they are considering coming back to the show.
Liar.
Nobody's considering coming back. Nobody that you torched on your soon-to-be published list wants to come back. You want to tell your other fans that he has such a great show that they need to come back.
All right, first of all, John's got a point there. Eric doesn't necessarily have a great show. In my eyes, Eric, I like Eric, and I think he talks about some entertaining stuff, but I mean, John does have kind of a point here. I'm not going to sit here and carry Eric's water and say everything about him is great, because I'm going to goof on him in a little bit too, but without a doubt, Eric Zane is fucking light years beyond John Domingo. That's, no question.
To be honest with you, the chat was the best part of the show.
Oh, that's what I want to get to. The chat is the best part of the show. Now, Bex, John DiCaprio, and I were in the Boomer Bunker chat having some fun, being the best part of the show. And then next week, we were banned. We were quieted from the chat because the best part wasn't cool when it was goofing on Domingo. It was the best part of the show when it was going after Eric. But, when they start busting balls on Domingo, let's just mute the motherfuckers. You suck, Domingo.
Not in there anymore. Now we also have that skunk-headed bitch Stevie in there who stirs up trouble. I mean, my God, talk about having somebody's nose up somebody's ass. Jesus Christ! If Eric ever stopped there, she'd break a cheekbone. That being said,
yes. Now there's a lot. Yeah, there's quite a few folks I'm a little disappointed in.
Oh, Duchess is disappointed in you guys. Watch it.
The crop is here.
That's right.
And listen, don't get me wrong. I mean, I loved every morning waking up and for the first 15 minutes of the show, hearing how he went and took his brother-in-law in the shower and violated him in his back door with some kind of cleaning product and some kind of scrub brush. I mean, really getting it.
Okay. I can in some ways agree with Domingo, but Zane's brother with challenges is a real part of his life. It's shit he has to deal with, and he talks about it. You know what I mean? It's not necessarily interesting, but if you had to take care of an adult sibling like that in a lot of ways, you know what I mean? It would. Zane takes care of his dad a lot. You know what I mean? That would encompass a lot of your life. I mean, it would be hard not to mention it, But I get what John's saying there. I'll give him half a point.
There. I'm sorry, Bob. What was that?
I believe it was comment.
Sorry, it's on that little TV.
Yes, I mean,
I don't have a big TV like John DiCaprio yet.
So, I mean, you miss that sometimes. So
nice.
But
I just saw that.
Good one, Mr. D. Yeah.
There's only a couple more things I want to cover here.
Absolutely. So, okay. So here he goes. So that was a list, Bob.
Oh, yeah. Here's the list. His enemies list. It's pretty funny to me.
I would only do that if they begged forgiveness.
Eric, you should beg for forgiveness. You should go over and beg to the people that supported you financially, supported you in everything you did, went to all your events, went to all the things that you had, supported Nick, buying subscriptions for people that didn't have them, thousands of dollars he did. And now that's all gone. And tell me that doesn't hurt. I know it hurts. It's got to hurt you because this is how you make your living now.
Ka-ching.
You should bend a knee, come over and apologize to each and every one. You should make a cameo to each and everybody on this list, apologizing for the shit you did. This is your fault.
Domingo, the guy with 5 friends on the whole fucking internet is gonna tell Eric Zane. Let me tell you something about Eric Zane, dude. He's a super nice dude. He gave away one of his kidneys to some rando that needed a kidney, and he was a match, so he did it. Eric Zane is always doing charity stuff. Eric Zane he's the nicest guy in podcasting, dude. It's very weird. Jamingo is a fucking zero.
You handled this horribly. This could have been avoided if you wasn't such a douchebag and did what you did to Dean. If you wouldn't have done that, if you would have just said, okay, I'm going to take a joke or whatever. And then not only that, but then you get caught in lie after lie after lie. Well, I called 911. No, you didn't. You called later. There wasn't a police report. Oh, yes, there was. So it's just lie after lie and bullshit after bullshit. So you should go and apologize to every one of them. That's what you should do. And I don't think they'd come back. I know one person that wouldn't come back.
Okay, so this is we're watching Jamingo right now because this is all set up for the Eric Zane response that we'll go through in a minute after this. I got just one more thing I think is interesting here. I think it's coming up soon.
Still wouldn't go back. Melissa says still wouldn't go back.
That's right.
So we haven't got to the list yet. I'm sorry.
Here you go. What do you think, Dean?
All right, I'm going to pee while he's going over the list.
Oh,
Nick Stewart, Dean Root, Lisa Krantz, Kate Creer, Mike Pellerito, Craig, Dennis Goebel, Melinda Sordelay, Andrea, Jason, another account by Nick Stewart, another account by Nick Stewart.
That's my favorite right there.
Nice, Nick. Another. Yet another.
Another one.
And another
Jesus.
one.
Okay.
Rob Payne, Adam Knapp, Doug Lemon. You're all on the list.
Yeah. You're all on the Boomer Bunker All-Star list. That's what list you're on. You guys are all on the best fans a podcast could have. Absolutely.
Oh, you mean we're not trash? We're not white trash?
Absolutely not.
Or any trash?
Shelly Kaner.
Oh, more. I'm sorry.
Scott Thalen. Jason
Do the
Thierry.
scroll.
The
Poor
Boomer
Jason.
Bunker Podcast. Boomer Bob. JM Synthetics. Jason Mays.
Another guy that's in here every week, coming in here, giving us content. Appreciate Jason. You know, just great people.
Sexy Voice Andrea's mother, Marcia. You must ask forgiveness.
I love this.
John and Jennison. You must bend the knee. Marlene Shepard. That is it. That
I'm
group,
sure there's more.
group picture.
Oh, I got a group picture for you, buddy.
That was the one where everybody was shooting in the finger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know you're like, well, we can't get together. Well, you're going to have to.
We did.
Bend the knee. Video of you begging for forgiveness. And
Cold
I will
dead body.
consider.
He wants video.
We'll forgive you.
I love Eric Zane.
Forgive.
Sure he
Aaron
was.
says, I guess that is why subscriptions are not being bought randomly for strangers anymore.
Yeah. All the people that supported you financially, you chased away. You dumb fucking moron. But
This
whatever.
dude had to cancel cable when everybody fucking left his shit.
Crazy.
Runner, Amy says, do you trust those guys to add them back?
I wouldn't if I was you. These are
Please.
fucking deviant geniuses.
Oh my
Never trust
God.
any-
These guys that troll Eric Zane are deviant geniuses. That's why no one has heard of them. You know, I'm a deviant genius, or I'm a high level troll at least. These guys aren't deviant geniuses. We'll get into it. Wait to hear the one thing that really kicked it off. Holy shit, Eric Zane was in the right. Shit, where is it? Where? I think it's coming up.
Again.
We would destroy him, but we wouldn't go back.
And you know what, Eric? At the end of the day,
It's a fucking podcast.
Except when you need to eat and pay some college bills.
yeah.
Then
well,
you gotta.
I have
you
a
gotta
real
ask
job for that.
Yeah. Well.
All right. I think
Only if they beg forgiveness. Rick says, which ones are rumored to want to come back? I cannot reveal that, Rick. Come on now.
None.
well,
Nope.
Well, as we'll see that there was some that wanted to come back, and Eric reveals them later. So there's a little bit of a I'll have to explain it some how it went down. What happened is so John and I were watching the Boomer Bunker when Bob was dressed up like John, and we were laughing about it, and we didn't think anything of it. And Zane had what I found out later is Zane had been kind of setting him up to go after him. And then the following week, when John and I watched him again, that show we were just watching, that's when I called Zane and said, dude, Boomer Bunker is going at you. And he's like, really? Whoa, what about? And I was like, I don't know. When's the last time you talked to Domingo? And he said, it's been a while. I didn't know about all this beef. But now in this, Eric Zane tells his side of the story. And there's there's also some funny shit because Eric is in up north Michigan doing his podcast from a trailer on his property up north. He's got a property with a couple trailers and stuff. You know, he's up there preparing it for his family. They're going to do an event up there. So he's podcasting from there, and he has a soft quality internet. You'll see all the choppiness and stuff. It's very funny. I'll give him a bag, you know, and give him some shit because I've taken it too. But I know Eric's show doesn't run that way. But this will be choppy. You guys will see. All right, here we go.
Childish right now when I describe it. I realize. Okay, so last week, I get tipped off that the Boomer Bunker has shots fired. And what's going to happen here is John's talking, and Pellerito sends pictures of how he is decorating his property. This is crazy. This is fucking nuts. How he is decorating his property at the We Hate Eric Zane, Don't Cross the Line party. Hand to God, that's the party.
It is true. This is where
this wasn't proof that I made the right decision by distancing myself from the.
So on that show, John and I were asking, "Where's Duchess? Where's Duchess?" Well, she was on her way to the We Hate Eric Zane party. And you'll see during the show, she said, or Domingo says something she doesn't agree with, and she's driving. I would imagine she drove, or maybe she flew or whatever. But she feels the need to. She calls John during the show because she doesn't agree with something he said about this guy. Just watch how it all plays out. I got some timestamps that we'll get to.
Liar.
All right.
These maniacs. I don't know what is. They drive from long distances to go to Mike's house where there's scarecrows constructed of me on the property with my face on it.
True. They did have a bunch on his property. A ton of Eric Zane scarecrows.
Correct. Holy shit. And Mike sends the pictures along to their show while Bob's talking about whatever, or John's talking about whatever. Well, Bob puts it on the screen.
Oh, here's an interesting thing that you guys may. Well, I find it interesting. Maybe you guys will too. But Eric prefers Domingo to Bob. He thinks Bob is a dummy, and sometimes Domingo says little things smart. He hates that he says Bob tries to be funny, but he's not. His jokes are dumb. Matter of fact, the episode after this one, he says it's live from the Boomer Bob Bad Joke Room or something like that. So this is an interesting twist for people that listen to me or have heard John and I talk about it on Win by Two, that Zane prefers Jamingo to Boomer Bob.
Green, and then John, John doesn't know anything. He wasn't involved in any of this. The only thing John knows is what he heard on my podcast.
Classic Jamingo right there. He doesn't know shit. Someone told him something, and now he's going to act like the authority on it. And oh man, when I paused it, I got the wheel of death. Let's see what happens. Everything I think was going good. We'll see.
My podcast. And I guess that's enough, but he's completely taken the all of the narrative and, he twisted it around to be his own convenient story. And that's fine. I do that all the fucking time. So
all right. Now we're gonna illustrate a few things that Zane does that are totally soft-esque. First of all, you'll notice his choppy video, right? I'll give him a pass because he's up north in the Lower Peninsula. He's not in the UP, but I don't imagine at his property out in the woods. You know what I mean? It's very more than rural when you get up north in Michigan. So they probably don't have the best internet service. So I'll give him a pass. But then he does something totally soft. He gets up to take care of his dog. I'm known for doing that with my children. Eric loves his dog, so he's got to take a dog care break, which is soft-esque.
excuse me, because I really want to get on a solid roll with this, but Darla needs assistance again. Stand by. Do not go anywhere. Holy shit.
So he's got that trailer and then another dwelling up there, a cabin or whatever. And the other dogs are in the other cabin, but he's got Darla in there because she's a puppy, so he's got to watch her.
Put her in the other camper. So let's get after it. This is last week on their show.
Okay. Now, this is where Bob is in the John DiCaprio gear. And this is before I called Zane and told him that they were goofing on him. I didn't know what was going on. And we'll find out that Zane kind of set him up before this to go in and talking about him.
We pick it up with Bob, and you can actually see Bob smirking because he has the image of one of the Eric Zane scarecrows, and they're literally all over the property. My images in scarecrow form. Okay. Is that funny? Yes. Very funny. Is it crazy? Of fucking course. This is a year later after it was just a breakup. You know, you did something I don't like. I did something you don't like. Who cares? So, now Pellerino, he is known to go the extra mile. He will absolutely go far to. All
right, so you can see Bob there. This is that show where
as crazy as possible.
This is the show where after I was on Rubberneckers with Jamingo and Jody B. This is the show Boomer Bunkers came back at, and then John and I addressed it on the In the Paint show on the Win by 2 channel. So let's get into the timestamps here because there's a lot to go through. All right, let's start here. I don't even have it labeled.
And then how does he repay him? He just
dumps all over him. Oh,
Yeah.
well, then he shit talked everybody,
right?
And then he was.
That part's very true.
He's going after others for things that happened.
That's how fights work, Bob. You moron. You should know. You're in one with your wife.
You know, like people that like babysat or all this other shit, crazy shit that you know.
I don't know what that means. Babysitting. I've tried to piece it together in my head. And I think maybe one of my kids babysat Andrea's kids. That's the only thing that it could be.
So one of his kids babysat a listener's kid. That sounds like Zane's hooking them up. How could that be bad? You know, you know, Eric sounds like he's doing someone a solid there that needs a babysitting gig because the Uber money is drying up. You know, no one's getting any Lyft dinners or a DoorDash. You know, so they got to get a babysitting gig. And Zane's like, hey, I can hook you up because, like I said, Zane's a good guy.
Because I think I should have my parenting rights taken away if I had Andrea babysit my kids. Holy shit.
People that have helped him left and right. And he just took a shit on everybody. And
one by
that's how it goes, Bob.
By one.
Yeah, one by one. But like made
They act like I just wake up and go after random people for doing nothing. So I asked the members of the chat, how come I haven't attacked you? How come I haven't hurt you? Okay.
All right, let's move ahead. Let's move ahead here.
Yeah, well, I don't know. Maybe you're not to the liking of him. Maybe he likes Tyler's
Oh,
wife.
yeah. Oh,
And,
wait, we got to go back a little here.
no, I don't mean to sound mean.
Yeah, we got to go back a couple minutes here. Let's go back to here. Oh.
Came over. That was the one where Tyler, who's right here in the chat right now.
All right, so well, what he's going to say now is he'll kind of describe it. I don't know if I got to the right part, but the one guy that Zane flipped out on, he had a good reason for it, and they're going to start describing it. He's going to start describing it now. This guy's name is Dean. All right, so. And right now, John's like, you should have never did that to Dean. You know, Dean supported you. He was a good fan, blah, 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 blah. But just check out how this goes.
Was there with his wife. I found out after the fact, not right away, that they left Tyler and his lovely wife. I go, why did you leave? He says, Dean was being very, very creepy to my wife, and she felt uncomfortable and unsafe. That was the time Dean had dinner over my house.
All right, yeah. So this is worth mentioning. Domingo, when he's laying it out on his show, he's saying that him and Bob are both saying that you know, Dean's been over to Eric's house for dinner, and Bob's like, you know, if you go to someone's house for dinner and stuff, you know, you're a family friend or whatever. But what it was is Eric had a pool party for you know, like a select group of listeners, you know, a barbecue at his house, you know, a pool barbecue, you know. It wasn't like a, hey, why don't you and your wife come over and, you know, I mean, it was an event for the fans, you know. It wasn't like a you know, let's come over and have a intimate dinner amongst close friends.
Mild, I would say like a family friend though.
And I was trying to bridge the gap between normal people like Tyler and them, because I kind of want, I had to be careful. I didn't know. I mean, because they did support me, and they hadn't quote unquote crossed the line at that point. So I was like, boy, what do I do? You know, I'm kind of in a tough spot. I don't want to alienate them, but at the same time, this is weird. So I was grappling with that. So when this finally did blow up, I said, fuck it. That's when I had been thinking it for a long time, but keeping it to myself. But then when it got really weird with all the stalker behavior, then it's like, okay, enough. And we're better off because of that. So it worked out.
Almost at that point, right? I mean, you eat dinner in my home, and I don't throw you out, then you're probably safe to say that I'm a friend of the family.
Okay. See, normally Bob would be right. If I invited whoever, one of you guys, Bex and her girlfriend over, you know, for dinner, let's say, you know, they lived within range. And if I invited them over for dinner and we hung out, you know, in the dining room, you know, we had dinner, and then, you know, we sit around and have drinks and do whatever, you know, like a real dinner, then yeah, you would say you're a family friend because you don't invite people into your house for something like that if they're not. But if you have a barbecue pool party for a small group of listeners at your house. I don't know if that's smart, giving them all your address like that, but I certainly wouldn't construe that, like I've been to a ton of Drew and Mike events, and I've been to their house and stuff, or his house, but it's not the kind of thing that I would just go over and knock on the door and be like, "Hey, what's up, Drew? We're big family friends," or whatever. No, we talk. He knows who I am. I know who he is. I go to most of the events I can, and I mean, it's different. If you go to an event, you're not family friends with the host. Get a fucking grip.
He was an acquaintance, but and a listener. And someone says, "What the hell did he do?" I can't speak for Tyler. He is here, but I don't know if it was a glance, if it was holding a gaze too long. It doesn't matter. Tyler's wife felt uncomfortable, and that kind of comes with the territory in interactions with him. It's never good. Never good. Amanda says, I mean, I never liked Dean, but never thought he was creepy. Yeah, well, I don't know. Maybe you're not to the liking of him. Maybe he likes Tyler's wife.
Oh, this is great. Some chick, Amanda, I think you said, she's like, I met Dean. I didn't think he was creepy. And Zane tries to be real diplomatic, going like, well, maybe he didn't think you were hot, so he wasn't creeping you. It's pretty funny. He's trying to be diplomatic.
Life. And I don't mean to sound mean, but maybe he wasn't. Maybe he didn't want to have sex with you. I have no idea. I'm just throwing that out there. I know that you were the punching bag earlier this week and rightfully deserved. Oh, God. But you're back now, and I love you for that.
There's one of those people that came back, see?
Their skin is not. All right. Very refreshing, writes, it's sometimes just a gut feeling when it comes to creeps. Amanda writes, what the fuck? All
right, hold on.
This show might be all about this. So
he does do the rest of his show about this. I want to get to some stuff because we've had our own. They're talking about this Dean guy. The subject was just broached that Dean is a creep, and I think this will be very interesting to Bex Rocks and Guy and any of the other ladies that were in our chat when Jamingo creeped out a little while ago. Check it out.
This all goes back to Craig Danitz of Clearwater, Florida. You are correct. And again, I sat on this until last night. And then I said, I have such a wonderful.
Now, that's the thing, is this was like 11 days ago. This was the one after I was on Rubberneckers. And Eric saw this. And he was just letting it go until the next week's show when I saw them shitting on Eric, and Eric and I are friends. So John and I were in the Discord, and I texted Eric right on the spot and was like, dude, these fuckers are shitting on you. I thought you and Jamingo were cool. So here we go.
Amount of content here. I have to share this. I have to. So Craig called it. He's not an idiot.
As long as I have my.
I hit the wrong button.
Yeah, Eric does some more soft stuff right here.
As human that he is,
Ball bust.
take a shit on everybody.
And then how does he repay him?
He had been to Eric's home. He'd had dinner with him, like that kind of thing. So Dean was a listener of the show, but he was a mild, I would say, like a family friend almost at that.
I used to make excuses for Dean too.
Point, right? Mm-hmm. You eat dinner in my home, and I don't throw you out. Then you're probably safe to say that I'm a friend of the family, right?
So does that mean he has carte blanche to do whatever he wants, Bob, when he's at your 1-bedroom home, or what?
Oh. That could have been handled so much better in so many different ways. But for some reason, Eric just lost his fucking mind and still loses.
So, he's like, oh yeah. A year later, this could have been done way different. I don't know, maybe. You weren't there. You weren't. You have no idea what happened. You have no concept of being able to relate to it. So I mean, that's very easy to say.
Which is what Jamingo does all the time. He hears 15% of a story, and then all of a sudden he's got it all figured out. What should have happened? Who's the asshole? Who's in the right? But classic Jamingo.
Hey,
I haven't listened to a show in months.
Dean was like always trying to come up with little gags,
Right.
for Eric,
Yep.
to do to Eric for the
Yep.
show,
True.
for content.
Yep.
And one of them was I guess Dean had contacted Eric's wife.
Now, listen to this. In case you didn't hear it, Dean had contacted Eric's wife. Now, check this out. This is where it starts to get weird.
Yeah.
How they know each other in that
True.
way, I don't know. And I guess Eric has a basement that his wife has been after him for years to paint,
Yes.
and he hasn't painted it yet. Well, Dean wanted to, go down there and act like he was painting the basement whenever Eric got home one day.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
I guess Eric felt that was crossing a line or too far, something like that.
Correct. Correct. Now, you see, you're all hearing that and you're going, well, what the fuck? Of course that's crossing the line.
Yeah, way.
What a suggestion. And Dean would always be like, it's for the show. That's where that whole gag came from. He would actually say, yeah, it's for the show.
All right, and lots of people that podcast or whatever, or now YouTube shows or whatever, I'm sure they all hear that from people in their chat or whatever that do shit. They're bringing bits to you and doing this and that, and it's like, oh, it's, I'm just trying to drive the show or help the show. And my experience has always been that the show hosts are like, well, thanks for your interest, but I don't need your help programming my show. All right. I got it figured out. Don't do a bit you think it's funny. Don't do something creepy and then say it's a funny bit for my show. Fuck off.
Bob's like, yeah, no, that's cool. Okay, so now since you're all normal, you're hearing that and you're going, well, that's it right there. Oh my God. Amanda says, I thought it was funny as hell. Maureen says, LOL, Corey. Corey says, Eric is a voice that comes out of my phone. That's what the relationship, she's talking about the relationship.
Right. Which is how it is just because it's like that obsession. A lot of people, there's been Call Me Misty was a Clint Eastwood movie where some chick was obsessed with him on the radio. You know what I mean? Just because you listen to the guy every day doesn't mean you're his buddy and you know about his life and it's all cool.
Maureen says, wait, if they turn on them, then will they understand? I doubt that's going to happen. Corey says, didn't they dangle the $10 Patreon fee and they tried to threaten you to talk about what they wanted?
Oh, yeah, this is funny.
I don't remember the specifics. I do remember in a fit of rage, Pellerito did say, you want to lose my $10 too? I was coming home from here. When I called him.
Yeah, you want to lose my $10? Fuck your $10, dude. Fuck you.
And he like screamed me down and motherfucked me. You want to lose another $10? Oh, you know what's crazy about this is I feel bad for my boy Joe Pellerito, Mike's brother, who's, he's kind of caught in the middle. He supports the show, he listens, and he's been nothing but supportive. And so I'm guessing they don't talk about this. It's like we don't talk about politics, religion, or easy at the Pellerito family gatherings.
It was probably demasculating him, where he's making him feel less of a man because.
Okay, John doesn't know the word emasculating. It's not demasculating; it's emasculating, John. It's a pretty common word. It's the only word for what you're trying to describe. So I don't know.
His wife's got another man coming over. over to do manly chores that Eric won't do.
Okay, now that's hilarious, actually. Look, he's laughing when he says it. He knows he can't even say it with a straight face.
Well, he'll almost cut off his own foot with a fucking chainsaw, but he won't go and paint a basement.
What? Bob just said, yeah, you almost cut off your foot, but you won't paint a basement. Okay, are you suggesting that cutting off my foot is a chore that my wife wanted to do? Because that doesn't make any sense. Again, Bob, John, pretty funny.
Yeah, that was a lame joke by Bob. Obviously, if he was out there with the chainsaw, he was doing a chore. The chore probably wasn't trying to cut off his foot, but he was out there working. You know, I don't think he was just running around with a chainsaw, which is weird because you're going to hear about someone else who was just running around with a chainsaw here in a second.
Bob is okay. He's dim.
Bob is dim.
Yeah, look at you. Look at you. You're going to do that chore of cutting off your foot, but then you won't go paint the basement?
Well, yeah. Well, that's the other thing. His wife did. His wife had Dean come over and play a practical joke during Halloween.
Yeah.
At the joke,
Dean asked. My wife reluctantly agreed, is what happened. Again, did not want to offend. Thought, oh, all right, I guess.
Was that Dean took the chain off a chainsaw, but still had it running.
No, he still had the chainsaw with the fully armed chain.
And so he comes around the corner, chainsaw.
All right. So if everyone's not following, what this is this Dean guy is calling Eric's wife and saying, hey, I want to pull bits on Eric at your house. You know what I mean? Not tell Aaron. And this bit is on Halloween. I guess Zane goes out and then this guy runs around the corner with a chainsaw, going all crazy. And he thinks it's a great bit. Eric's at home fucking passing out candy to kids on Halloween. And this motherfucker's, what the fuck's he thinking, dude? I'd hit him with a baseball bat.
It's like going after Eric, and Eric probably shit his pants.
Oh,
I would have
a
shit
little,
my pants.
a little.
Yeah,
I mean,
definitely.
there's nothing wrong with shitting your pants when someone comes after you with a fucking chainsaw.
But
It happens.
odd thing about Dean is that he seems like the nicest guy.
Oh, here's
Like,
where it
we
gets
hang
good,
out with
Bex.
him, you know, where we do in the video chat.
Bex, here's
He
where
seems
it gets
such
good.
a well-educated, nice guy.
Okay. Again, Bob doesn't have the wits or the sensibility to pick out the flaws.
You know,
Well,
good
he's-
dad.
Yeah. Okay. Now this is where it gets really good. Did you saw John go? And he kind of shook his hand. He's disagreeing with Bob.
Watch
This
it,
is one of my
Bex.
favorite parts of all of this because they've done this full-on attack a week ago. That again, I didn't plan on talking about this, mind you. I was going to let it go until last night when they did it again. At this point, after
That's
all
when
of these-
that's when John and I were
Fuck
watching,
Eric,
and I
fuck Eric,
texted him.
Dean's great. Dean's great. Listen to what Jamingo says now out of the other side of his mouth about Dean.
Yeah.
There's something, although there is something with Dean. He's got a little, I'm going to say, a sexual deviance about him.
Just a little bit of deviance.
What just happened?
Yeah.
Dean has a sexual
So John, essentially this whole time, he's been bitching about Eric excommunicating this guy from the show for being a weirdo. And John's been like, yeah, Eric, you're a big dick for doing that, blah, 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 blah. And then Eric points out that this guy made another fan's wife feel uncomfortable, gave off creep vibes. And now John's going, you know what? I do see, there's a little sexual deviance in this guy. He ain't right.
deviance. Huh. You picked up on John. John, you picked up that he has a sexual deviance about him. Yet I'm the asshole because I don't want this man sneaking into my house and taking pictures with my wife. Huh. Now, those aren't my words. Those are his words. It's at this point that John has exhausted his awareness of the conversation. Remember, I said he's got some smarts.
Some.
Some.
Just more than Bob.
At this point, they're gone. Oh my God.
You mean
You
like
know what I'm
Nick?
talking? No, not as much. No,
Nick's just a pervert, like in
Right.
that, like his.
Oh, okay. So you got a sexual deviant and a pervert. Huh. Now, these are their words. And we can't figure out why Eric's being an asshole to him.
And there's only a few minutes
We're
left of
supposed
this,
to be
but I think
nice
it's worth
to
it.
Sexual deviants and perverts. Ladies and gentlemen, the amount of restraint I had to have in the past week to not play this right here was ridiculous. I grappled with it for several days. Just because of the words that they say to indict these themselves. Oh my God. They are literally doing the heavy lifting for your old pal EZ. I'm just listening to the fucking thing with you. Oh my God.
Thoughts are gutter.
Yeah, Dean's got this like sexual, and I'm not. I don't mean this in a bad way. How do you make it in a good way? But I'm just saying.
Good question, Bob or John. I keep getting these two mixed up. I don't know how you take sexual deviance in a good way. Please explain it to me.
Hey, he's got that certain. He says things every once in a while where you go, "Wait, what?"
Correct.
Correct. Bex, and I hope you're watching because Jamingo could notice it in other people, but he couldn't notice it in the way he was communicating with you.
Thank you very much, John Jamingo, for explaining that your friend Dean is a sexual deviant and says weird shit.
Deviant?
Yeah. Look, there's a little.
I've
bit.
never really noticed that about him. So.
Oh, you're
dumb.
You're in the same. To be quite honest with you.
Oh,
fuck you.
Like last night, you were sitting there talking about how big your cock was, and you could not stop.
I know
putting
it
in the
annoys
chat.
you. Because I know it annoys you. So
It's
I just
fine.
was layering it on.
I know.
It was funny.
We don't kink shame. Hey, I kink shame. I definitely kink shame.
I think he's getting a phone call now.
Oh, yeah.
Jimmy.
Now here.
How do I turn this off? Okay.
Now this is the funny part is the Duchess only hooked up with she's in Jamingo's area, Jersey area, I believe. But she only hooked up with Boomer Bunker through like the Eric Zane chat, the Eric Zane show chat. You know what I mean? It's not like the Duchess and Jamingo are old friends or whatever. They hooked up to the chat and they've been getting along. You know, they get along and they have fun. They agree on a lot of stuff. It's cool. Nothing against her, but she is not happy about Jamingo saying Dean's a creep. Check it out.
You.
I just muted.
I would throw stones, but I have technical issues all the time.
It's a potential spam.
It's the Duchess.
That's every call for me.
It's not
even when it's
spam.
My contact list people.
Well, Duchess says wrong. What's wrong? What did I say that was wrong?
Now, Kate Creer is witnessing, and now she's correcting John, saying no, he's not a sexual deviant.
Not that Jimmy probably.
That Dean has a little bit of a he's got a little bit of a creepy. Every once in a while, he comes up with like a creepy vibe.
I would like to have to take the time to put in further perspective and put a finer point on how much of a creep Dean is. But I don't have to. John's done it for us. He is doubling down when the woman that he wants to have sex with is reaching out to him and saying, no, Dean's not a creep. And he goes, oh, yeah, he is.
Maybe that I'm
Is that
I'm a little weird like that too. I do things for.
What a fucking Christopher Nolan, M. Night Shyamalan plot twist on this. This started out as anti-Eric, and now they're murdering Dean.
Comical reasons, even if it only makes me laugh.
Yeah.
Everything's a joke, man.
I understand.
No, everything's not a joke, dude. You got to watch.
Yeah, I know. That's what I do, Bob. Joke.
Don't take life too seriously.
At this point, John is texting back and forth with his lover, Kate.
Yeah, look at him.
And
He's all in his phone. Check him out.
They're arguing now about how creepy Dean is.
Because you never get
You
out
can
of
hear
the
him rat-a-tat-tatting on the thing.
He's fucking around with all of us, Duchess says. So, yeah, from what I could tell about
yeah,
Dean.
no, I get that. I understand that he's doing it. It's a joke.
And I would tell Dean, hey, enough. And he would never get it. Never.
But it's got that creepy.
That's a triple down. He is now tripling down on it.
Perverted vibe. That's all. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying he's a creepy pervert.
Yes, you did. You called him a sexual deviant, John.
I'm just saying that.
How can I be playing your clip? I mean, how can you're actually twisting it as you're saying it? How do you do that?
The irony here is amazing. Like John thought Dean's little comments to women and stuff and things he says in the chats and all this, because John's never met him in real life, so John can only go by his chats. So John's read everything he said in the chat, blah, 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 you know what I mean? And he's like, hey, you know, the guy's a little bit of a creep. And then John doesn't recognize how creepy he is to chicks on the internet. John's a fucking huge creep to any chick on the internet, except Duchess, because as Eric points out, she looks like a chick that John feels like he could possibly bang. She's in the area. They're in the same general weight and looks category. You know, it could work out. We'll see. So John will take some shit from her. You know what I mean? Because he knows the line that he crosses. He knows what he should and shouldn't say to women. He felt very comfortable saying that shit to Bex because he knew he would never have a shot with her. But when he sees Dean talking to people he communicates with, he's like, oh, that guy's a little bit creepy. Like you, Jamingo, you fuck.
It's a humor side of him.
He could play one. Yeah.
Thank you, Bob. He can play a creepy pervert.
Oh, okay.
I'm not saying he is a creepy pervert.
Oh, okay.
I'm saying he plays.
So it's up to us to figure it out when he's in front of our house.
Yeah.
A very good creepy pervert.
Okay.
That's all. That's all I'm saying.
Like me. I mean,
Nice.
Yeah, so John's admitted that this guy is kind of creepy and weird. And this guy calls Eric's wife when Eric doesn't know about it and arranges to come over to the house when Eric isn't there to play pranks on Aaron or what. You know what I mean? I'd be fucking pissed, dude. Don't call my... Who the fuck are you? Don't call my fucking wife, you moron.
Scott, love Dean.
On this show, I'm
But he's a sexual deviant, according to John.
complete fucking moron, right? But in real life, I'm just an actual idiot. Totally different.
Correct.
Tyler says he just Rick James us.
Next thing you know, Dean will be sending me pictures. You've crossed the line.
Be careful.
Right.
You don't know.
See, now Jamingo is realizing it as he's saying it. He was going at Eric for excommunicating this Dean guy. And now John's realizing it as he called this Dean dude a creep that he'll probably turn on him tomorrow too. And then, I mean, let's face it, Boomer Bunker can't afford to lose a single fan. You know what I mean?
Hang in there. Just wait. Ryan says this should be Who Are These Boomers? So I'm nearly an hour into this. This is probably going to be the show today.
I think
a lot to cover. I have.
There might have been
yesterday's
something else in this. I don't
and they
know.
Rip me a new one with Kate, and one of the audience members who I already tipped off about this,
Let's
who's
see.
watching right now, gets murdered. Holy shit!
Oh, I've got a palate cleanser from Mike, but it's from like 3 weeks ago. Over.
All right, this is.
I don't know if I want
think,
to watch it.
Duchess says it's dark humor, but he's not a perv.
Oh, you hear that, Bex?
Kate,
It was dark humor. He's not a perv.
Slamming
All right.
by John.
It was just dark humor Jamingo was doing.
Then into mainline.
That's that.
All right, I think that's about all we need to go over on that. I love Eric Zane. I've talked to him in a long time. Many of you people make fun of my voice and how I talk, it was maybe 3.5 years ago. I had Eric Zane on a podcast, and he was the first one to say it. I mean, publicly recorded or whatever. He goes, "Did anyone ever tell you you sound like a Muppet?" And everyone laughed, and I go, "Which Muppet?" And he goes, "It's a nondescript Muppet. I don't know. It could be Fozzie Bear. It could be anybody, but you sound like a fucking Muppet." I always thought that was funny. He's the first guy that said, "I do not have a voice for doing this," but that's the way it goes. Anyway, so I want to leave this here. I'm going to talk to Eric tonight. I want to see where this goes from here. There's only a couple more things I want to cover. I want to look at Melton covered Dalish for or that show
now
for
we
a
gotta
minute.
process
That Dalish and
yeah, Ryan says this
Drunk
is and
on
should be,
Cringe.
who
Whoa,
are
that
these
shit was
boomers?
crazy. Let me
A
see.
one-off episode of Who Are These?
All right, let me see. Here we go. This is it. This is the only thing I noticed. And the reason I think it's funny is because there's a lot of people like commenters now that all of a sudden decided they should have shows too. You know what I mean? They're like, "Hey man, I gave you a lot of super chats, you know, and you read my super chats, so that means I'm funny, so I should have a show." And Melton distills Dalish.
Don't come after you, dog. You think you're a clipper?
Melton hold on.
Meet my friend Toucan Scambo.
Then people listen in the works. Look at Trump. He told the same thing. I'm gonna what did he say? I'm gonna drain the swamp. And
why is he bringing up Trump right now? What the fuck is going on?
Because he's German and he thinks he understands American politics.
So basically, that's what Hitler did as well. Like, everything is shit for you. Okay, I'm gonna make it better, and he made it better, and everybody was like, "Wee, he made it better," and then he made it worse.
He made it better.
Hold on, what's going on here? Why is the video not playing? Hold on. All right, here we go. This should work better. Sorry, everyone. I'm just a babe in the woods without DiCaprio to backstop for me. All right, here we go.
Before.
Humble
who's
bragging.
your two favorite German?
Humble bragging.
All-time drunk on cringe.
We need a drunk on cringe AI voice.
All right, so
Inform us.
look.
My two.
Look at Dalish posing.
Germans, like.
Well, who's like people in German culture?
Dalish, I'll tell you what Dalish does though. She never stops posing.
Exactly.
She it's like she acts like she expects every moment to be captured and talked about on podcasts. She's always fixing her hair and poising herself like she knows a photo is being taken. Look, she's always looking at the camera, rarely at the screen. She's always like this. Always.
Yeah.
She does this on every show.
This is solid Melton right here.
This
Now watch your face.
We had Schmidt from Hamburg, and there's
Schmitzenhold? I know him.
Watch your face.
Schmitzenhold?
Schmidt.
Schmitzenheiser?
Also, probably like
never moves, always shows her side that she thinks is her good side, I imagine. Not that there's anything wrong with this. I'm just saying, like, don't think she's not a polished, practiced bitch.
Yes.
People who are successful in sports. Like,
Dirk Nowitzki?
yeah.
Look at her.
Dirk Nowitzki is a legend in Germany.
He should be.
Yeah, he is.
He fucking should be, Dirk Nowitzki.
Look at that face.
A
Look.
legend in
Pose.
disguise right now is like the NHL player.
Very controlled. Very controlled.
All right, so that's all I want to really go over on that one. And you won't normally find me saying, "Hell, look at the great thing Melton did," but he's absolutely right. This is the kind of thing I'm trying to get to. Is all these people in the comments that gave super chats now? They all think they're going to do a show, and what she's doing right there is she's trying to fuck with the chat and find the next simp that she can reel in, and then she'll blow him up like the whole Ian Hawke thing and shit. You know, she's fucking dirty, dude. She's working. Fuck her.
The German one, I can't
Look at that
remember his
mouth.
fucking name.
I don't
Look.
watch hockey.
Anyways,
know hockey.
no, we have lots of legends, but we not have so many legends concerning politics, more like sports and entertainment.
Yeah, you're like our politics aren't so good. We don't want to. We don't like to.
Everybody loves Mama Merkel, but
So that's creepy that she literally like never moves.
Yeah, but her face is all over the place, dude. She's posing the whole time. It's fucking weird.
Yes.
All right. Here you go. We'll end with this. Dr. Chow is another guy that's he wants to be a podcaster, or you know, he wants to be, what do you call it? Shit, what do you call it? His part of the verse where Ski Mask is the champion. I forget what it is, but he so wants to be a part. At first, he was a commenter under many names, and then then he broke down and spent the $250 for the eBay starter podcast setup, and now he's a broadcaster, and he brought on Ari Jane. They're gonna do the Simply Good show.
Good because I'm good, you're good, we are good, and life is good. So our whole vibe at this show is just talking about how good things are going, everything that was good in life that we can share knowledge back and forth and just explore what makes everyone good, especially our chatters.
That's a sweet breakdown for what this show is going to be, right? We're just going to explore everything good because everybody's good, especially our chatters. It's good. I have 2 marks here. Let's see, 18 minutes. We'll see what happens there. Here we go.
Logic or something. So, yeah.
Yeah.
What about like, what do you like better, like nighttime or daytime?
Whoa,
Well,
that's
for
it.
different reasons. For productivity, morning, definitely. I'm an early bird, and nighttime's good for creativity. I think letting the brain wander.
Oh, so during the day today, she was being productive, and now she's being creative. All right.
Yeah. So that's
Yeah.
I think. Yeah, not that my day breaks up like that because it somersaults into creativity, productivity, more creativity than productivity, but you'll have that.
Yeah. No, actually,
Isn't like creativity and productivity are like the same thing? Like if I'm like a painter and I spend all day painting, I was being creative, but I was also being productive. I mean, those things aren't mutually exclusive. You can be creative and productive at the same time. You could even be productive and creative at the same time. She sounds like someone that doesn't do shit, and now she's trying to explain it.
I want to share something that came up this week. I was coming off a little bit of a something, I don't know, allergy or sickness or something, and you gave me really, really good advice on what to take to cure it. And I heard some other streamers who
It was probably some milk thistle or some kind of other lemongrass, fucking stupid tree hugging, crystal worshiping bullshit. Go join the fucking Shuli army with his Kabbalah Scientology shit. You gave me some real good advice for some roots that I had to go to the, I don't know, tree hugger store for. All right, there's just one other clip I want to get to here at 27. Let's see.
goals, or you like what are you trying to do, like looking at the future?
Honestly, I think that I've been able to feel more comfortable about the future.
Why are her legs so white compared to her arm? Look, first of all, she's not very tan. She doesn't live far from me. Do you ever get any sun? Holy shit, dude. Look at her legs, dude. She don't go outside. What the fuck?
When I live in my present and I'm focusing on what is happening right now, that's awesome. And I'm not saying that you should never have a plan or you shouldn't think ahead or get excited for things. I'm just saying that I think sometimes we get so wrapped up in that anticipation that we miss, what's going on around us at the time. And I've noticed, ever since I started paying attention to that more, things have gotten a lot better for me. What's going on right now that's good.
Oh, well, the translation is I don't have much of a future, and I used to think I did. So what I'm doing now is just focusing on today, because who knows about tomorrow? It could be fucked up. I used to think that tomorrow will be a better day, but I realized that's probably not true. So I'm just trying to be very present and, hug my crystals.
Yeah, like today.
Yeah.
Is there what happened for you?
Oh, listen to this.
That was good. Anything in particular? Anything?
That's their discussion. She goes through all that like I'm trying to be present, and then she's like, yeah, like today. That's their conversation. And then like today what? She says like today. What happened for you that was good? And who gives a fuck what he says? Actually, I'm over it. I just wanted to mention it. I think I ran a little long. I'm sure nobody is watching because I know Shuli is on. Other people are on. I don't know. I just hope this all worked right. I appreciate everyone showing up and checking it out. Maybe in the future it'll be better. Maybe in the future Jamingo will call me a creep. I don't know. I just hope this looked all right. I'm trying to just at least do a show that looked all right, and then I can plan on making it better. So thanks a lot, everyone, for showing up. I was going to talk about Stancil. I didn't get to it because the Eric Zane stuff was funny, and I don't really dislike Stancil. I just like fucking with him a little bit, and ski mask, big ass square head. Why is he still wearing a ski mask? We already saw his face, dude. That's like uncomfortable. The bit's over. Fuck that ski mask, dude. Probably makes you 25 degrees hotter when you're podcasting. Get over it. If that's your brand isn't that big. Fuck it and be comfortable. All right. Anyway, everyone, thanks so much for showing up. I know I disappointed again, but I will endeavor to make it all better in the future. This was really, I was switched over on computers and trying something different, and obviously there's a big fail at the beginning. So thank you. Be sure to watch Win by 2 the next time they come on. Who knows when that'll be, because John says he doesn't need to keep a schedule. He's a big baller and he don't give a fuck. So watch Win by 2 when it's on. I'm not on that show. I go on there sometimes, but I was really fired. But John and I are still very good friends. Matter of fact, he was calling me during the show, like telling me how it sounded, because I wasn't going to ask you fuckers in the chat. So whatever. Check out Eric Zane if you don't know about him. Win by 2. The Dabbler, all my other friends. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and maybe I'll get to a 120 someday or something. I don't know. Thanks, everyone. Have a good night.